Ho, ho. Look, I come from a city, you hear signs when we sleep. Heaven sent, hands down, vibes so unique. They ain't play their part, so my part is play for keeps. Why I a kid, but I never saw that.
All right, welcome everybody to Lock, Loaded, and Goated. We are still here. We still live. We still doing the shit. Welcome everybody that's here. Appreciate all the pregame chatter. We are Lock, Loaded, and Goated. I'm your host, Brandon Andrews, and with me as always is Tony Pardo, Jeff Riddle Jr., and Jordan Elkins. So we are here. We have a great show lined up. Like I said, we're going to try to rifle through some things because we have a lot of content to get to tonight. And I already see the comments are on fire. But let's just start the show with week one thoughts, quick one-liners on what we learned, what we didn't learn. Try to exclude Bama. We already fucking talked about that till we're blue in the face. But you can do with it what you will. Tony, we'll start with you.
I knew what Tennessee was, so I was correct about that. And Nico's is dog shit. That's pretty much my week one wrap up. I literally stayed up late just to watch the first half to watch his downfall. But yeah, Tennessee's got a quarterback and UCLA doesn't.
All right. Riddle, what you got, brother?
Well, the ones I have wrote down is having the Manning name doesn't equal dominance. Dabo Swinney is grading on a big curve. Ohio State lost 8 starters on defense to the NFL draft and may be better. And then North Carolina is in deep trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan.
Yeah, Carolina's in bad shape. Most points ever against the Bill Belichick defense. It only took one college game to do it. And let's face it, that's not a top tier TCU team. Tennessee, kind of what I thought we'd see a lot of. Some timing issues early. Alabama, FSU. Alabama didn't look great. Ty Simpson ran for his life. But let's be honest, FSU pulled a lot of people in the portal, so we don't really know what they're holding just yet. It'll take a few more weeks to see kind of how they shake out. This might be another one of those situations where they've spent enough money to go out and compete, and all of a sudden they're a contender. We just don't know it yet.
That's true. I made a little 3-second video to kind of tell you what I thought about week one, and I will share it. If you can't see this, guys, you've probably already seen it, but and that's all we got to say about that. So, yeah, okay. So we're going to dive right in. Riddle, you're up, buddy. Just go ahead. I felt like Mufasa hanging there in Scar, just... Yeah. All right. Anyway, Riddle, go ahead and give us your question of the night.
So again, I've seen a lot of new names in here tonight. We're doing a trivia question every week at the end of the year. If you have the most points from our trivia portion, you will be getting a little care package from the boys here at Lock, Loaded, and Goated. This is last week's question. We're going to run it again. Nobody got it right last week, so. In the BCS era, it ran from 1998 to 2013 with 125 rankings revealed and 17 teams holding the number one spot at least once. In the BCS era, what team spent the most weeks as the number one ranked team? And that is the BCS rankings that came out like week 10 to the end of the year. So
there are only four BCS rankings a year?
Yeah, pretty much.
There's like 5 or 6 if you count the last season one and then the end of the year one.
Well, okay.
So, so welcome everybody. Welcome Alex, Ethan, Dees. Appreciate you as always. Appreciate everybody for being here. We're going to jump right into this 2023 QB class. So I got a little graphic to put up, and guys, so if you're on TikTok, you're going to get to see this for a minute, but I just wanted you to take a quick look at the names, and then I'll hide it as soon as we start to speak on it. But these are the names from the 2023 QB class, then versus now. We thought this is going to be a great topic because if you look at these supposed all-star studs, can't miss prospects, and then you look at where they are now, it is it's quite comical. So with that said, if you're watching on YouTube or the purple there, you can see it still. But either way, we're going to start with Riddle. Riddle, what did you think of that class? And I want to know, who is your opinion is the best or in the best situation out of those QBs?
Well, if you go based off of like those top, so what we got 8 on there, the top 8,
Yep.
Statistically,
The top 6 were 5 stars.
right. And
Those are the 5 stars in the class.
Statistically, right now, Nico probably has the best stats of any of them, but he's got to play a lot more than those. Yeah. That was a very underwhelming class. I will say that first and foremost. Jackson Arnold, he's kind of having a revelation for his career, a second chance, if you will, down there at Auburn. Dante Moore, he's found him a home in Oregon.
Sorry.
Again, we'll see kind of this year what he's capable of. Arch, I think Arch is going to be okay. I know he gets that deer in the headlight. That deer in the headlights in those big games. He did it against Georgia in the regular season last year. Did it against Ohio State until late in that game when they had to just throw it all over the field. If you compare his first start against a top 10 opponent to Peyton's, it's very similar. Peyton's first top 10 start was against Alabama in '94. He threw 138 yards and 2 picks in that game. So
yeah.
We can't say it's going to be a horrible career for him just yet. The notables from this class that I found are Avery Johnson sitting at number 9. He's had a respectable outings there at Kansas State. He ain't a world beater, but he can make plays. And then 34 and 35 in that ranking is Lenore Sellers and Austin Simmons, both of them SEC starters this year. Lenore Sellers got a lot of hype. Austin Simmons, this is his first chance to prove himself. So very underwhelming class overall, though, out of the quarterbacks.
Got one.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you look at that class right there, I think Lenore Sellers was not even on the graphic, is probably one of the better ones.
He's the absolute gem of that class right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we sit today.
But Jordan, what I don't want you to do, I don't want you to dive in as deep as him. I want you to tell me on the graphic there, which one do you think is going to have the best career and kind of make up the ground that they need to actually be a starter in the NFL potentially? Everything's different in the NFL, but.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I went through especially the 5 stars, and I can tell you the 4 who are not going to be NFL starters. Nico, full blown bust. Jackson Arnold, right now he's a bust. He might play himself up at Auburn, but I mean, based on what I saw against Baylor, I don't think so. Malachi Nelson, absolute bust. Jaden Rashada, complete bust. After the whole deal with the Florida NIL. The only 2 we don't know, honestly, is Arch Manning and Dante Moore. This is Dante Moore's first year. This will be Arch Manning's first year. I mean, Arch Manning went against a really, really good Ohio State defense with a great coordinator there, and Matt Patricia. Threw a lot of things at him he was not ready to see. Had him changing arm angles for no reason at times.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think the ceiling is highest on Arch Manning. I still have to go. I mean, now granted, if his name wasn't Arch Manning, he'd be just another guy with a lot of talent. So I mean, he's getting some unfair accolades, you could say, and some expectations just because of who he is. If not, he'd be just another guy with a lot of talent, the high ceiling.
And the deal is we already know you don't have to be good in college to get drafted high in the NFL. You do not have to be good. Will Levis is a shining example. Will Levis is the one I'm thinking of who had all the intangibles, and we saw what that is. But I think he's going to be better than that. Tony, out of that, what do you think?
I mean, I think Jordan pretty much said, that's even though Arch Manning, it was just game one game, very first game of the season. I still think he's going to have a really good season. Obviously, he's the typical. I know he's got the Manning name too, but he can make all the throws. But like I said, that's one game's rusty. But one name that was actually left off was Sam Levitt. Oh, Levitt's on the list. So
yeah, but the graphic he just
granted, Sam Levitt went to Michigan State and
Michigan
transferred to
State
Arizona
and then
State.
transferred.
yeah. So I mean, it's just
But
the graphic is top. That's the top in the rankings. But
I mean,
I know, but I was talking about
Sam Levitt's a good
I was
one.
talking about I was
He
talking
might
about,
be
possible
Yeah.
future pro aspirations.
Yeah.
He could be one.
I think so. I think so. So I want to ask this out of the graphic though, and this is Kia says why the F is Austin Mack up there. Kia, this is the 2023 QB rankings as they came out, and what the question is like, is this not the most underwhelming QB class? So I'm going to ask this, and I just need a quick yes or no on the graphic. And all you're looking at is week 1 of those names. It's gonna just be painstakingly to say this, but Jackson Arnold had the best week 1. In my opinion, on that list that I posted, Jackson Arnold, because half of them ain't even playing, they're not playing anybody worth a damn. But I still think I agree with everyone. Arch has a real shot to be it's going to take a whole lot for him not to be a very, very high draft pick, possibly not number 1. It's going to take a lot, like a complete meltdown. And I don't know.
He's still got a long way to go. He's still got a long way to go, but he's got as much potential as anybody.
Yeah. And thank you for following. And I'll just be honest with you. Yeah, we'll get into the whole Ohio State thing. I think that was a very, very tough start. And I think he'll be better. All right. So thank you for that. That was a, we just wanted to share that with you guys because we saw that and we're like, what in the world? So the next thing we wanted to talk about was we all made conference champion predictions. And so we were wondering after week 1, how those changed. Now, what I'm not going to ask anyone to do is I don't want anyone to change their dark horse candidate because they were named dark horse for a reason. Because I picked Bama and that's not on the table anymore. But if your number 1 pick, if you want to go back and rescind that, tell me the conference, tell me the team that you picked originally, and tell me the change and why. So I'm going to start with Tony. Tell me out of your conference champion picks, who do you not stand firm with?
All except for the ACC. My prediction. That'd be Clemson. I'm not sticking with them bums. I should have known better. Anyways, I should have took LSU, but it is what it is. I let hate get in front of me with Brown Kelly. So I think, which I'll talk about this a little bit later. I think now, just after 1 week, since I got my pick wrong, Notre Dame, I think Miami could possibly take the ACC.
Oh damn, boy! Hey.
Yep.
If that happens, my off the wall prediction is looking good. It's looking good. Anyway, all right. Okay, that's the only one, Tony. You sticking with Boise State? You sticking with Boise State?
Yeah. Why not? Because I still don't think there's very many good teams left in there. So. Yeah.
All right, Riddle. Go ahead.
I'm gonna change 3 based off of what I saw.
Damn.
I'm changing the ACC.
Okay.
I just Clemson came in with all that hype, and most every expert around bought into it. Watching them on the field against an LSU team that, had a lot of hype as well, that was returning a lot, they underperformed. And I don't care how steep that curve is that Dabo's grading with. He was way off with how he said that both of those teams performed. So I'm going to actually switch to Miami. If Miami can stay consistent with what they did Sunday night, then they will win the ACC because it's a 2 or 3 team race every year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch from Clemson to Miami. In the Mountain West, I'm not going with Boise State. They looked awful against South Florida. And I might be jumping off of them a little too soon because, again, they are the cream of the crop in that conference. But I'm going to switch it to UNLV. I'm going to go with my initial gut.
Boom. Yeah.
I'm going to switch it to UNLV. I think Dan can get them guys playing good ball eventually and quit giving up so many points.
Yep.
We'll see once they get into the conference meat and potatoes of their schedule. And then in the Big Ten, I should have picked them. I second-guessed myself so many times based off that preseason hype. Tony told me not to, and I did it anyway. My pick was Penn State. I'm switching that to Ohio State. I think they're clearly right now the best team in the nation. I'm switching that to Ohio State.
Okay. So
Welcome
Jordan,
aboard, Junior. Welcome aboard.
Jordan. So the UNLV bus is nice. It ain't the Ohio State nice, but it's a nice bus. You know, Ohio State's in a jet. But Jordan, what do you got, brother?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a moment here to change absolutely nothing. I still love my picks. I love where I'm sitting. I still have Texas to win the SEC. I mean, as good as Ohio State probably is going to be this year, that Texas defense held them to 14 with all the weapons they have. I don't. The only one I almost swapped out Buffalo in the MAC for Ohio, the Bobcats, but Buffalo's giving me no reason to. I mean, went into Minnesota, played them. I'm not sure what the spread on that game was off the top of my head, but played Minnesota. You know, played a Power 4 team. You know, obviously they're out talented and still hung right there with them. So I like everybody I've still got.
Yeah. So I kind of agree. Like, I was going to jump off the Clemson bandwagon, but then I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, if LSU is as good as everyone hyped them up to be, and they did, everyone hyped up LSU. Several people had LSU second best in the SEC, things like that.
I had them as a dark horse to win
Yeah.
it. So.
Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here. LSU played great. No qualms about that. The only one that I was really questioning was the Penn State, Ohio State. And I'll probably take a minute to swap over. And the reason why is because James Franklin's still the coach and Ohio State hasn't missed a beat. So they haven't missed a beat. And we're going to get into that in just a second. But yeah, I still think Georgia, it could win the SEC. Texas, what it told me was if you get punched in the mouth, they're gonna falter. Now, Arch is going to get better as the season goes along, and that could all change. But right now, I still have confidence in Georgia's defense. And like I said, that's one shining spot. At least Kirby still knows how to coach a defense up. So that's one good caveat there. But that's what I've got there. But now we're going to go to the real meat and potatoes. And this is the AP Top 25 ranking. So it came out. And like I said, you can see it there. Me and Jordan are covered up, but that's okay. So of the top 25, I don't want to take any thunder away. All I want to say is, here it is. Is there anything crazy? Tony, you just don't have to even comment on this yet, but is there anything crazy, Riddle, to you outside of what, we don't want to steal thunder, but anything crazy to you?
I would have to look at last week's rankings to be positive because I'm doing my own rankings this year and they're a little bit different than the APs. But one of the things that stand out to me is that Texas went on the road to Ohio State, lost a 7-point ball game in the shoe up there in Ohio State, who's now your number one team, and they fell 6 spots. And then Clemson was at home and lost to LSU, and they only dropped 4.
Yeah.
And if those kind of things just don't make sense to me, rankings, these polls should be based off of performances. And I feel like the preseason poll still carries weight after, week 1. And we can talk about Alabama falling to 21. Based off of their performance against an unranked Florida State team, is that far enough?
No.
I'm not saying that they don't still have the talent, that, coaching scheming could get better, but is that far enough of a fall? And then Tennessee goes out and looked really good. That defense, they played. I was talking to my stepdad today, and he's a huge Tennessee fan. That defense cycled in and out players to the 3rd string and 4th string in and out of that game the whole time once they got up. They did let them back in the game a little bit, but that now makes more sense as to why that Syracuse got back in that game. Because, hell, you don't want to be running your starters out there when you're up big on a team like that. They barely moved. So does that make sense that they didn't move up further? And then right there in the middle, you still got teams that are, Florida, are we really calling them the 13th best team in the nation after the year they had last year, what they brought back, and the fact that they played Long Island University? I feel like the preseason polls, they carry way too much weight, and it should be based off of performances week to week. And that's my opinion on it.
I guess the only thing about that is it gives us something to talk about. And now that we're content creators and we're talking about it, I mean, we got to appreciate what it is. So Kias, just in the interest of keeping him up, he said cheers before he forgets, gentlemen. And he said, what is everyone sipping on today?
It was the coach.
I'm drinking 122 proof Uncle Nearest. I am drinking Short Barrel 4 grain. And I don't know what Tony's drinking or Riddle, but if they're drinking anything. But, oh, there you go. He's drinking that old Coke Classic. You know, notice they were never open. They were never open. All right.
Hey, but Nick Saban was sponsored by him, so.
So Jordan, I'm going to go and then I'll let you. I was just going to say I agree with Riddle. I don't think Alabama should be ranked. They came in, they laid a complete egg. We had people pretty much walking on the field while the play was still live. I have no respect right now for the program. Now that doesn't mean I'm not a fan. I just the direction we're going. We're making TikTok videos and we're like people alluded, bringing stuff to animals, painting our fingernails. We've lost the edge, and it is what it is. Not going to change.
You heard about the other stuff off the field?
Yeah,
the staying up late till like 2:30, the DoorDash.
I heard that. I just can't
problem.
confirm that. I can't confirm that, and the reason why it came from one guy, and so I was like, do I want to talk about that? And I was like, well, I'm not going to talk about that too much because at the end of the day, like anything that we can't confirm, but we know there was a stuffed animal. We know there was TikToks being made. We know an offensive lineman while he was doing warm-ups had a phone on the field. Anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. The other one that I had, I never left his hand. And he's supposed to be an All-American. So he was a preseason All-American.
That's a culture and coaching thing.
The worst offensive line performance on Alabama's team was that guy. The worst. And he's supposed to be the best lineman. Did you know, and this is just a stat to throw out, and I don't know if I threw it out the other day or not, Alabama allowed more sacks, hurry-ups, and pressures than any other team in college football on Saturday. So I want you to go back. I want you to go back because the same thing, and that's why everyone's hating on Ty. Ty didn't do bad based on what he had. He didn't do bad. And now I'm starting to wonder if
Perkins in the chat.
Now I'm starting to wonder if Milroe,
Tony's boy,
maybe Milroe wasn't as bad as we thought. Maybe he just was running for his life. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into all that shit. But the only other one I had was SMU. Last time we saw them, they got embarrassed and they got him. You know, I just don't. I don't understand. Tennessee was a far better team to me. If we're just talking about the panel here, Tennessee's a far better team than SMU. And if you wanted to flip-flop somebody, that's who you should have flip-flopped. Anyway, I ain't going to get into that. Tony, we're not going to let go with you. Jordan, you got anything on this?
No, I mean, it's AP, man. Polls don't mean a lot till you get about 4 to 5 weeks in, until teams have some games and you have some conference matchups to kind of see what people have. I mean, Florida looked really good hammering a pathetic Long Island team. I mean, Notre Dame Penn State looked really good pounding a terrible Nevada bunch. I mean, it just polls don't have a whole lot of meaning until you get some games under the belt. Yeah,
you play your schedule. I mean, it's all you can do. And Kias, just so you know, we'll always roll with the tide. We're not going anywhere. It's just, sometimes, like we said last year, when we have something go wrong, Riddle did it with Georgia, Tony did it with Tennessee. When you have something go wrong, you cannot be afraid to talk about these things out in the open. That does not mean you're not a fan. It just means you're calling it like it is. Sometimes you got to have conversations to, kind of commence that change. So anyway, okay. That was, insightful. But we're going to get into the hot take. The hot take of the week is, so I'm going to give you three teams, guys, and I want you to tell me who impressed you the most. Who impressed you the most?
Outside of those three?
It better be real good. It better be real good because if it's outside of these three, like I said, there ain't many outside. Anyway, okay. Ohio State, LSU, or Miami? Which team impressed you the most? And I'll give you a D. If you have another team, it's going to have to be better than that, but we'll see. Let's see. Go ahead, Tony. Who you got?
You know what? I'm still going to stick with Miami. I mean,
that was a good win.
I didn't think that I didn't think that they were going to have, the defense like last year. I didn't know what they had coming in. If the defense plays like that all season, I mean, they're going to have a shot, and
Austin Peay.
yeah.
That's a good.
And I
That's a
just
good
wonder-
pick. It's a good pick.
Yeah. Oh, Austin P beat down. Who was MTSU?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So,
fucking sad.
yeah. But yeah, going back to last year, hell, if Cam Ward even had half the defense display that they put on against Notre Dame, they might have been champions. I don't know.
Completely different.
But yeah, completely different. And he would have won the Heisman.
That just
it
shows
is
you
what it is. But yeah. And
I mean-
Carson Beck, he didn't screw up. He didn't screw up in this first game of the season. I guess Notre Dame, a team that's going to be in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he just plays like that, he doesn't have to. If defense plays like that, he doesn't have to be a world beater. Anything like he doesn't have to be Cam Ward.
Okay.
All he's got to do is go out there and play mistake-free football.
That's
and then,
true.
hell, you never know. Never know.
True. Riddle, give me your other.
So I did have Miami wrote down of those three.
Yeah. Yes.
But I had two other teams wrote down too. Obviously, Florida State. I know you hate to hear that.
No, it's
that's
fine.
a team. That's a team of toys from the Misfits. Just a quarterback that was benched at Boston College last year, Squirrel White. Just a bunch of guys that came together and they played really good. We don't have to talk about that one. The team that impressed me the most was South Florida against Boise State.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I said that Byron Brown, he went 16 of 24 for 210 passing, 14 carries, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. The fake punt for the 45-yard touchdown, that was a ballsy call. That changed the whole complexion of that game. Mm-hmm. I think Alex Golesh is a great coach. I think he could be a hot commodity by the year's end. I think he'll be a Power 4 coach, sooner rather than later. I think he's just a very
I'd take him right now.
Right. He schemes the game well. He calls the game well. He's a great coach. Yeah. Be interesting. We're going to talk about them a little later on. And, their next two games are at Florida and at Miami. And if they could make some noise in even one of two of those, that'd be huge for them. So that was my team, was University of South Florida.
Okay. Jordan, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, like Perkins said in the chat, Ohio State, defending champs, changed coordinators, nothing on the field changed. The last 5 games for them have been Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Texas. I mean, that's a 5-game gauntlet if anybody has one. So not really a surprise. I thought Miami looked well. I said if Miami could stop the run, if they could stop Jeremiah Love, they would take care of business in that game. Carson Beck looked a lot more comfortable in that Miami offense. They've kind of give him the keys to the Camaro and kind of letting him, make his own moves at the line. And I think that could be a big thing for them this year. So I'm going to roll with the Canes out of the 3 that you picked there.
All right. Well, I'm going to go everything that you said, Jordan, everything that you said. I'm going to go with what you said, and I'm going to say Ohio State. And the reason why is because of everything they lost on defense, everything that they lost a starting QB. I understand two new coordinators, and I agree. They didn't miss a lick, and I'm going to tell you, they look, like Riddle said earlier in this comment, it was key, they might be better. I mean, it's early, but damn. I mean, they played Texas a hell of a lot better this year than they did last year. I mean, Texas could do nothing. And
you heard leading up to that game too was that Texas across the board in every position was better than Ohio State. And I saw that nowhere on the field Saturday.
I mean, Matt Patricia may have been the biggest hire. And dude, to be better than Jim Knowles is a scary thought. And I'm not saying he will be.
Sarkisian came out and said that was the best he's ever seen a college team disguise their looks. I wonder why.
An NFL guy. So Kia said, tell UConn to say Camaro again.
Camaro.
Anyway, I'm just here, bro. Okay. All right. So here we are. We're going to get into our matchups now. Riddle, go ahead and give us the breakdown of where we are from last week and then where we are overall, and then we'll get into the matchups.
So 10 picks in. I'm 6-4. Brandon, you and Jordan tied for second at 4-6, and then Tony Pardo, he likes to go out there on the limb, and he's 3-7 right now. So
God bless
still
that
a lot
man.
of football left to call for the year.
I'll make up for them.
God bless that man.
Plenty of time.
This one's for you, Tony. I gotta save some for Pardo's poor. Anyway,
Yeah, you do.
anyway, so to start it off, so guys, those of you last year we'd pick every top 25 matchup. We've streamlined that. We're going to kind of reference this a couple times just so everyone's new with the new format. And what we do is we pick about 5 games, whether it be a marquee matchup, 2 ranked teams, or games that we think could be interesting. So this week we picked we picked some good ones. But we're going to start out with the best one, I think, and that will be number 14, Michigan at 18, Oklahoma. And Oklahoma was it Oklahoma 5.5 point favorite? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe it was, which was interesting to say the least.
Crazy.
But we're going to start with Tony on this round. Tony, give us your pick against the spread.
Yeah, I'm going to I'm just going to give you my pick and spread. I am going to well, let me just say this. Bryce Underwood last week, first game ever playing, true freshman. He's also one of these QBs that has all this hype right now. He had a good game against New Mexico State. I mean, it was New Mexico State. Yeah, it wasn't bad, wasn't great. He didn't really do anything to, put them in harm's way. Nothing spectacular. And then you got Mateer for Oklahoma, set a passing debut record for Oklahoma in their entire history. He had almost 400 yards passing against Illinois State.
Yeah.
So with that being said, neither QB was really tested that much. This is kind of a big question mark game.
Thank you for
Don't know what really either team have. I just expect this game to be kind of maybe sloppy because I still think both sides of the ball, these QBs will be tested. It could be sloppy, and I also think it's probably going to be low scoring. I can't see anything above, say, 50 points total. But I'm going to take Oklahoma for the win, but Michigan to cover. That's what I'm going with.
Good pick. Riddle, you're up, brother.
I had to write down that mixed Michigan call. So this line has moved quite a bit since, we discussed that we were going to talk about this one. It was 5.5 when we got it. And then today alone, when I looked at it this morning, it was already down to 2.5. It may have moved further since then. That's never a good sign. But ESPN Analytics only has a 53.5% chance for Oklahoma, so this is basically just a coin flip for them too. Michigan didn't look overly dominant against New Mexico. I didn't get to watch any of that game. Mateer, Tony talked about Mateer. He was very efficient passing. He did throw a pick. Michigan, former Alabama boy Justice Haynes, he ran 16 times for 159 and 3 scores. I think they're going to try to, any of these teams with a new quarterback, they're going to try to establish the run. And if they're able to establish the run, that's going to open things up for a young quarterback. Unless your name's Nico, and then you might still overthrow people. This is only the second meeting between these two teams. Oklahoma won 14-6 in the Orange Bowl in 1976. It was Bo Schembechler and Barry Switzer, and Oklahoma would win the national title that year. I thought that was a pretty cool little stat there. I'm actually going to go with Mateer and Oklahoma to cover that 5.5 in this game.
Okay. Jordan.
Yeah, you had that backwards, Jeff. That opened it too. And it said,
did it open it too and went run up to 5.5? Okay.
That's all right.
That's better for me than my pick. That's even better for my pick.
Makes you feel better about it, don't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It did move.
Let's face it. We've already seen, the coveted Heisman, Arch Manning, go on the road last week and struggle. Underwood's going to have a tough day at the Palace on the Prairie. That's just all there is to it. I've got Oklahoma going 2-0 all time against Michigan. Oklahoma covers 5.5.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you guys. I'm going with Mateer in that offense. I am under the expectation that Venables is going to be a completely locked down defense, something unlike.
What up, Big Hunt?
Justice Haynes saw it last year and didn't do shit against it. So I've got Venables having something set up for that Michigan offense, and he's going to make Underwood beat them. And I'm not sure they have the athletes on the perimeter to do that. I'm not saying they don't. I'm not a big Michigan follower, But I'm just telling you, it's going to be a rough go because Venables, if there's one thing he can do, and it's coach a defense, and I think he's got the offense now to complement him. And any one of us watched all these SEC games last year. There's one thing Venables did do, and he showed up with defense. Even the Tennessee game, it was close. It was close. Defense travels, and Michigan's going to play good defense too. But I'm a tier, man. I'm telling you, he's something else.
That game was close thanks to Nico.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
But
that was a blowout.
Anyway.
Should have been.
Anyway, all right. But so I'm going with Oklahoma in the points. So Josh says, "Yo, roll Tide."
What's up, Josh?
What's up, brother?
Josh,
How are you? And
Josh.
Big Hunt showed up. And we appreciate Dane said, glad Nico's gone. I think everyone here is glad Nico's gone. That drama's kind of shit we don't even want around.
Right,
I'm not even a Tennessee fan, and I don't want it around me.
there was a trade, and UCLA lost handily.
Yes.
On the
I
field
agree.
and off the field.
I wonder if
agree.
Deshaun Foster's over there going, damn it. Damn
I
it.
lost my job.
Damn it.
He's
AP said, go
he's
Nico.
awesome.
AP said, go Nico. All right.
Go down with the ship, huh? Hey,
Yeah, he's
that's what
going down.
captains do. They go down
That's
with
what
the ship.
captains do. Okay,
That's
so
what the man says after he took
Next
the top out of
game.
6.
next game is University of South Florida at number 15, Florida. 17.5 points. Riddle, lead the way.
So, we got a 17.5 point favorite in Florida here. ESPN Analytics not giving them much of a
Thank you,
chance,
Josh.
82.7%. USF had the big win over Boise State, and I still, like I said earlier, I think Golish will be a Power 4 coach sooner rather than later. And where he lands, they will be happy to have got him. I really like that guy. Florida did what they were supposed to do last week against Long Island. Lagway and Ball didn't play too much because they didn't need to, but they did miss 2 field goals. They recorded 0 sacks. Those are the kind of stats in those games that stick out to me. You can't have those miscues in bigger games. I do believe Florida finds a way to win this game. I do think USF will cover that 17.5, and it's closer than people expect it to be.
Big Hunt just calling out USF with a straight upset. That's balls right there. That's balls.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Jordan.
Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to go ahead with Tony.
Tony.
Well, I love Golish, so I'm just get that out of the way just because he was a former Vol. Brought some of the most exciting offenses to us since probably ever. But South Florida, great showing last week, obviously, against the Bulls. Sorry, not against the Bulls, but the Boise State, Idaho Broncos. But they're not facing Broncos this week. If we're going to, we always talk about how talent level, and does Florida State, does FSU, God dang it. The Bulls. Fuck.
USF.
Do the Bulls. USF. There's too many fucking Florida teams. Anyways, do the Bulls. Do they have the talent? Do they have the talent to meet what the Gators have? We always talk about that. Do we not? We always say that shit. And I know I love the offense that the Bulls have down there. But I think sometimes when you start facing tougher competition, you got really good talent other side of the ball, defenses wise, it's probably gonna be a little tougher. And then I know people think it's probably gonna be close. Spread of 17.5.
Yeah.
I just really like DJ Lagway still, and I know they played a cupcake last week, but hey, he's got a year under his belt. I still expect him, unless he just falls off for some reason drastically. I just don't see. I don't know if USF can really stop Florida. They're probably going to score a few, against Florida, but I don't know. Say if they're going to put up 3 or 4 touchdowns. I really don't. I don't know if they can. Florida played a little bit sloppy game last week at some points in the game, but those are just some minor things. Wasn't anything crazy. I just think they're going to prove the Bulls to be too much. So I'm going to take Gators, and I'm going to take the points at home.
Okay. One caveat before we get to Riddle. Does anybody know the weather for that game? Because I can assure you South Florida in the rain is a tough fucking team to beat.
You would know.
Jordan, you're up. I'm sorry.
No, no problem. No problem. This is a really bad spot for Florida. Florida, the next 3 games after this one, they play at number 3 LSU, at number 5 Miami, and have number 7 Texas come into Gainesville. Dangerous spot for Florida. Alex Golish went out in the offseason through the portal and added a bunch of Power 4 rejects. This team plays a lot better than a group of 5 team probably should, especially at this point. He's got his quarterback back and healthy this year. Brown stayed hurt a lot last year. I don't know if I'm as confident as Big Hunt is in going out with them straight up winning, but I think they've got a shot to win it late. They'll have a shot to win late. I'm going to take South Florida and the points.
Okay, so yeah, that's a big if. That's further than I'm willing to go, because I do think Lagway is the real deal. There's no denying that he is talented. This kid is going places. He is a gunslinger, and Florida is very lucky and fortunate to have him. But with that said, I am taking Golish and South Florida with the points. I'm just not going to get the upset. It's going to be closer than the experts think. I got it about a 10-point game. I could see Florida scoring late in trash time, making it 17, but they won't cover. So, all right, moving on. So the next one that we're going to talk about tonight is another game. I don't know. We thought would be interesting. It always is, and it's Iowa at Iowa State, and that's the 22nd ranked Iowa State Cyclones, and they're 3.5-point favorites. Jordan, we start with you.
Yeah, I was not overly impressed with Iowa State in their Dublin game with Kansas State. Rocco Beck did not look as good as the ESPN anchors will have you believe that he looked in that game. That being said, I'm still 10 years later not convinced that Iowa can score points against a quality defense. I think the first 1 to 10 wins this. If Iowa State hits 14, they win it in a rout. Give me the Cyclones minus 3.5.
10-4. I agree with you 100%. Tony, who you got?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. I feel like both teams are about evenly matched, even though others swear Cyclones have a stud QB that's possible Heisman winner. Yeah, right. And like Jordan said, I don't expect too many points either. But I'm still going to take the Cyclones. I give them benefit of doubt. I'll take them for the win and points. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to blow them out. Hell, they might just cover by 6. So last year, I think the game was pretty close at the Hawks field. So, I'll just take Iowa State in the points, 3.5.
All right, Riddle.
All right, so I got a few things that I found interesting that I'm going to touch on real quick. First, Kirk Ferentz tied Woody Hayes for most wins in Big Ten's all-time win list last week.
That's big.
That's pretty big. He's in his 27th season at Iowa.
No
Been a long time. Yeah. This is the 72nd meeting between Iowa and Iowa State. Iowa leads the series 47-24. Iowa State is 8-21 playing at home in this series. 29 games in this series have been decided by 1 score. 48 games have been decided by 16 or less. The last 7 games have been decided by an average of 5 points. And that's an incredible rivalry right there. You don't see a lot of blowouts in this one. But that being said, I picked Iowa State over in Ireland. I think they are going to win this one. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout by any means. It's just traditionally this game is close. But I do think they can cover the 3.5. It might be by 6. It might be by 7.
Thank you for following,
but they
brother.
will cover this spread.
So that's the highlight. That's the comment of the night so far. Bama ball on top of a Georgia ball. Your house might catch on fire tonight for that.
So that is my. Let me explain. I am a huge Georgia fan. I live and die by Georgia. I married a woman who grew up in a Alabama household, and that actually on the ball right there it says to Kirsten, Roll Tide, Nick Saban. So she asked me to put that ball in my background, and I did it for her
sense.
last week. Last week, that case had Florida State helmets in it. So there's that.
Yes.
Look who's back.
So
Oh,
here we
Blake.
are, Blake.
Blake made
What
it
are you
back.
doing, Blake? What are you doing? So just my pick real quick on this. So Riddle, like you said, these games are usually 5 points or less. We don't need 5, we need 4. And I got Iowa
Right.
State. Very close game, very ugly game, like everyone has alluded to. But like Jordan said, I'm not convinced Iowa can score with anyone. So I will go ahead and I'll pick Iowa State. So this is one of the more intriguing games for me because this one is going to be putting Tony Pardo's Fighting Jayhawks up against an SEC school who I know they didn't play anybody fantastic, but they look the way an SEC school should. So we'll see what happens. But this is Kansas at Missouri. Kansas at Missouri. Tony, we start with you. 6.5 point spread for Mizzou. Who you got?
Come on, don't drink that Kool-Aid, that Missouri Kool-Aid, and they piss in it. And I'm going to keep saying it. I love Jalen Daniels at Kansas, all right? And I love him. I've been meat riding them since probably the last 5 games of last season.
Meat rider from way back.
Yeah. Man, Jalen, he can make the plays.
Reminds me of
He's got the
Nico.
experience. He's got a lot of no, that's disrespect right there to Jalen Daniels. But he's literally a veteran. Hell, I think he's like 26 years old. So he's got the experience and obviously the leadership when he's on field. I mean, they can score some points, and I don't care if it's an SEC school because Missouri to me is not even an SEC school. They just don't. They don't give me that vibe. I have no idea why Missouri is 6.5. I think that's a little ridiculous. Hell, they lost Cooks. They don't have Luther Burden anymore. Still a lot of question marks on their side of the ball. So this is a renewed rivalry. I'll give it that. But I've seen enough of the, Missouri over the years that, they're nothing special, still nothing special to me. So give me the Jayhawks to cover and win in Mizzou.
All right. Riddle.
Yeah, so this is another one of those games that when you start looking at the history of it actually has a lot of interesting things going on. This game was played every year from 1891 to 2011, except for 1918 when a flu pandemic rolled through and they had to cancel it that one year. This was the second longest Division I football series at the time, continuous running series until it ended in 2011 when Missouri came to the SEC. They play for the Indian War Drum, and they also the winner receives the Lamar Hunt Trophy, not to be confused with the NFL Lamar Hunt Trophy. But one other thing that I wanted to recognize is University of Missouri is credited by the NCAA as the birthplace of homecoming. And in 1911, the football game in Columbia being the world's first homecoming. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, outside of that, I'm with Tony on this one. Jalen Daniels, the kid makes plays. I think he has tremendous heart. I think he's a winner. And Emmanuel Henderson, the wide receiver there, he had 9 receptions for 154 yards and 2 TDs. Pretty good receiver. Keep an eye on him.
Where's he from? I know. Anyway.
Missouri, Bo Pribula. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Pribula.
He looked good, and he was supposed to.
Yes,
he looked the part, and he was supposed to. I just think Kansas gets it done this week, and I have them winning this one outright. So I'm going with Kansas.
Nick said thoughts on Ohio State win. We touched on a little bit, Nick. If you hang tight for just a second, we'll get to some questions. Jordan, who you got?
Yeah, this is a battle of unbeatens. 2-0 Kansas, 1-0 Missouri. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Kansas gets a 3-0 after this one. We'll take the points, but hell, we don't need them. Not a fan of what they've got in Missouri. Old Dorkwitz or whoever he is. I mean, he's just, Lord have mercy. That's a glorified high school coach. Give me Kansas. Give me Kansas to win outright.
Well, I'm going to fucking go on a limb here, and I'm going to be the one that fucking, goes against the grain. I'm going Eli Drinkwitz, get his fucking name right. He's got bigger balls than anybody in the SEC. He may not be able to do anything with them, but goddamn, they're dragging the floor. And I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to go with Missouri.
That sounds like a medical issue.
Reminds me
or something.
reminds me of the bulldog from Van Wilder. Anyway, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with Missouri. I'm going with the SEC. I think it's too hard to go on the road and play an SEC team. It is what it is. Kansas is certainly talented enough to win this. They got some good transfers, and they do have a good quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, somebody got to go against the grain.
I agree with you, Brandon. Going to the road on the road to an SEC, but I mean, you might as well be going on the road to MTSU right there with that stadium they've got.
Yeah, that's not a true SEC stadium.
Yeah, I know. Big Hunt
Missouri
says
can't even
Missouri
sell
by
out Vanderbilt on the road. So
Big Hunt says Missouri by TD. Missouri by TD. I got one. All right. Anyway. All right. Last matchup. Last matchup before we start answering some questions, and that is number 11, Arizona State at Mississippi State. Now, the reason why this game is included is because the point spread is Arizona State +6 or -6.5. That is an intriguing point spread, and we're going to start with you, Riddle. Who do you have and why?
Starkville rivals Missouri for worst place to go experience a college football game. It's a dump. I hate it there. I never want to go back. That being said, Sam Leavitt has not looked up to snuff so far this year. I think he gets it corrected. I think he's a great quarterback. We've talked about him a lot on this show. 25 of 39 so far on the year, 257, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. That's just not what you're looking for a guy that you think could be a top quarterback prospect coming out of college. He does have 7 carries for 73 yards. He can make plays on his feet, but you're playing Northern Arizona and your team struggled, and that didn't look very good, and you're a big part of the offense. I'm still going to go Arizona State. I think they still cover this, but I am very shocked that this spread is what it is in Starkville, that hellhole.
Yeah, D says Starkville's a great place for a baseball game, though, and he's not wrong. So
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong on there. Yeah. So
there's
Jordan,
nothing to do in Starkville. Nothing to do in Starkville.
Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of expectations this year on Arizona State. One thing hurting their offense is what was the running back's name that was there last year? He's not there this year. He's in the NFL.
Scatterbo?
Yeah, Cam Scatterbo. I think that made Sam Leavitt look a lot better than maybe he really was last year. Time will tell as this season goes. That being said, I think Jeff Lebby has the boys ready to go in Starkville on Saturday night. Give me Mississippi State plus 6.5.
Dude, that's more wild than fucking me saying Missouri is going to beat Kansas.
Who's got him dragging the ground, Brandon?
Hey, fucking Jeff Lebby, I guess. Good for him. Good for him. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to that, Jordan. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Sun Devils to win this. I still feel like they have the talent and the better quarterback coming in this one. I know Sun Devils, they haven't looked dominant in the first game. I'm not sure if you can, I really think, like Jordan brought up, Cam Scatterbo, he is gone. I'm not sure if the Devils actually have a run game this year. Scatterbo was a big part of that. Dude was just a man amongst the boys pretty much last year. He was like the midget Mike Allstott pretty much. He just kept moving his legs. He didn't give a shit. I'm going to take the Sun Devils to win this, but I do have the Bulldogs covering also.
Okay.
So Mississippi State's your pick, Ben, to cover.
So what I'm going to say is watching Mississippi State football is like watching a dog with worms drag his fucking ass on the ground. It's ugly. It's the nastiest fucking thing you've ever seen. It's terrible, and that includes Bama getting pummeled by Florida State. There's nothing worse than watching Mississippi State play. So, and that's a Bama fan saying that. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm going Arizona State. I don't care how shitty they look. I don't give a damn. I know I'm going. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But you're talking about the doormat of the SEC for like 14 fucking years. I mean, Vandy at least rises to the top every once in a while. Anyway,
just at the end of the year, we might be looking back thinking that this Mississippi State team be kind of like that Vanderbilt team from last year.
It could be, yeah.
Pick a couple of surprises. They looked pretty good against Southern Miss. I mean, it was Southern Miss, but it was on the road.
Lebby is certainly a talented guy. I don't want anyone to think he just went to a very terrible situation. But I mean, when the head coaching job calls, you answer. But I picked Arizona State, Riddle, just for and then so now we're to the points where we can start talking about fans.
Just real quick, they really did us good last night. Me and Jordan were in there live. If there's anybody in here that likes golf, you'll see Josh and Dee's in the comments. They do a golf stream.
Josh is up past his bedtime apparently, but
yeah, it was Andy just called Dee's daddy. I'm not sure what that's about, but
damn.
Those guys are a good time. Me and Jordan had a great time in there last night. If you're in here and you like golf, go give those guys some love. It's fun. Poor Josh is an Alabama fan. He was deep in his feels and wanted to be deep in his wallet last night.
Josh, we love you, brother.
Yeah, Dee said they will be live tomorrow at 8:00. So tomorrow at 8:00, go jump into those guys live. Give them some love from us. They give love to us. We want to give it back to them.
Yeah. If you ever need a hug,
you'll be surprised how much college football gets talked in a.
Yes. So thank you everybody for being here. So we're not done. What we're going to do is start getting some comments. So Troy says, thoughts on the Fighting Pavias versus Virginia Tech. I'm taking the Dandy Vandy. Vandy. So
he keeps putting it up to his screen. He's answered that for him.
Can we Virginia just say, Tech, baby? I'm just going to say this, and I don't want to sit there. I'm not trying to knock the Vanderbilt thing, but I'm going to tell you, Virginia Tech did not look as bad against South Carolina as I thought they would, especially for those who are anointing South Carolina as a fucking great team. They didn't look very good to me, but week one, Alabama looked like dog shit, so I'm going to give them the pass. I'm just saying Virginia Tech didn't look as bad as I thought they did because South Carolina's defense was great. It was great.
But I think Virginia Tech played South Carolina pretty well. Again, it was one of those first game of the years. It was a good matchup.
Yeah, it was.
I liked what I saw out of Andy. I know Tony hates to hear that, and he might pick against them every week in the Biscuit League. But I think Vandy gets it done this week. I think they're going to beat Virginia Tech and keep it rolling.
So Troy, you said if they don't win the game on the field, they'll win the fight in the stands. I'm praying you're talking about Virginia Tech because when you come out to fucking Metallica, I'm pretty sure you can beat fucking Vanderbilt's fucking nerds. So I tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised Troy went against his Metallica brethren on that one.
I know.
So Nick in the chat wanted us to touch on the Ohio State and Texas. I don't know if he was the one that said it earlier when you caught it, Brandon, but I know that's the second time I've seen it. So, I'll start on this one. I think Ohio State looks like and is the best team in the country after week one. It's early in the year, but it doesn't look like they've missed a beat. I think Matt Patricia was the hire of the year at this point. What he was been able to do with that defense and everything that they lost, they're going to be tough to beat. I actually changed my pick from Penn State to win the Big Ten to Ohio State winning the Big Ten after week one tonight, which is what we did at the beginning of the show. I like what I see up there. Their offense is going to struggle at times. They got a young quarterback, but their game plan, they know what they have, and they stuck to it, and they beat a Texas team that was supposed to be better than them across the board. They took what they were given, and they got the job done, and I expect to see that continue to grow all year.
Yeah, Josh.
And apparently Josh has Lank tattooed on his bicep. I'm putting that out there.
Why in the fuck would you tattoo that on your fucking bicep? That's that pussy ass shit. That's that DeBoer shit.
Nice by your nose.
That's that DeBoer shit. Hey, now if you would have came to me and said that you had a fucking tattoo of the word "the process" on your fucking arm, I'd be like, hell yeah, brother, I'm all down for you.
Hey, that's true, Troy. That's true, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, hey, I see you guys. Oh god, got rubber to cut up. Oh yeah, hey, who made that rubber? It's these fuckers right here sitting here. I'm just playing. So Blake's here and he says, what do we think about ECU? So I'm going to defer because I didn't watch ECU. I didn't watch ECU. Blake, I don't have the confidence to tell you right now.
So North Carolina State is who ECU played. I didn't get to watch a lot of that game, but the games I don't get to watch, I try to go back and look at. I'm not real familiar with ECU's players, so pardon me on that, Blake. But the fact that that was 24-17 was the final there, obviously ECU played them pretty well. Now, is that because NC State is down, or is that because ECU is up? I will try to keep an eye on them for you, Blake, and find out. But hey, they almost won, so that's positive, I guess.
That is positive. and the deal is, Blake, at this point, we know ECU's not a national contender. They just need to go win their conference. Okay, that's all they need to worry about, winning the conference. So losing to NC State means nothing. I know for pride. Go ahead.
I will say this.
Thank you, Josh.
Hang on, I don't know what's happening there. Never mind. Go ahead, Brandon. I'll come back.
Byron said Tennessee behind Alabama is hilarious. Yes, we've already touched on that, Byron. Alabama shouldn't be ranked. And I actually went on a limb, and these guys can attest to this. I said SMU and Tennessee should be swapped just based on what I saw on Saturday. And you could make an argument for Tennessee to be higher. But with that said, I don't think Alabama should be ranked. So
okay, I'm ready to jump in for Blake.
Go ahead, Blake. Go ahead for Blake.
I'll go ahead and tell you what the problem is right now. Just looking at this right now, I just got it pulled up. They had 29 carries for 30 damn yards. That's the fucking problem. You can't run the damn ball. You got to run the ball in college football.
Well, and that score is a little misleading. I mean, 24-17, yeah, but it was 24-7 going to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, they picked up a couple fourth quarter scores late, got it closer than it really was. Could be a long year for ECU. I'm not sure how. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in NC State. Either. So,
well, the quarterback looked like he did everything he possibly could to get them there.
318 yards passing.
I got 366 here, 30 of 44 for 366.
I was
just ECU's quarterback.
It was 383 altogether. So I mean, somebody else must have something in.
Levy had one for 17.
413 to 423. They were fairly efficient on third down, 6 for 16. Not the greatest, but it could be worse. 1 for 4 on fourth downs. If you're going to go for it 4 times, only getting 1, you're going to have a long year. Let's see. Penalties killed them. Very undisciplined. 10 penalties, 86 yards.
Ooh.
Did not turn the ball over though, so that's a good start when you're playing
something to build on.
Talented team. If you don't turn it over, that's something to hang your hat on in the next week. I'm not sure. Let's see what their schedule looks like going forward.
Over under on attempted passes by Kentucky this weekend.
I mean, I believe ECU will get a big win this weekend against the Fighting Camels out of the Southern Conference. After that, it doesn't look that great. You got Coastal Carolina, BYU, Army, and Tulane. Your next 4 after that. So that's they could be staring 1-5 right down the barrel by 1-5.
Yeah. Blake, hey man, respect for sticking with your team, boy. That's all you can do. We've all been.
There have been some fun ECU teams to watch over the years.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony's favorite
is going to be one of them.
Tony's favorite running back and who he says is the greatest in Titans history came from ECU.
Yeah, he did.
That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. No, it's not. That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. That is the stupidest thing. So you had Earl Campbell, you had Eddie George, and you had Derrick Henry.
We're talking Titan history. We're talking Titan history. We're not talking all time. Tennessee. This dude's
a fucking He's talking about CJ.
This dude is
CJ. Josh,
forget Pardo's poor. This is fucking high on life Pardo over here.
No.
This motherfucker.
CJ 2K. Hey, give me CJ 2K. I'm just saying, give me CJ 2K.
Oh my god.
In his prime, yeah, give me CJ. I don't give a shit.
In his prime, hell, he only had 1 prime year.
No, he had like 3 solid years. He just didn't last as long, unfortunately. He didn't last as long, unfortunately.
So,
but
Tony, maybe you should say he had the single greatest season in Titans history.
I'll say this. I'll say he had the most talent out of any Titan running back. But the number 1 running back to me is Eddie George. Don't give no fucks either. So that's Eddie.
What do the numbers say, Tony?
3 solid years.
Tony, what did I miss on Josh?
Tony, what do the numbers say?
I'm trying to figure out what question I missed on. I
We don't care about feelings. We want to know what the data says.
I'm by heart.
All right. Anyway,
Jordan, Josh said he hated to agree with Tony or hated to disagree with Tony, but he was wrong. Okay. And he put the crown.
these
everybody knows who the crown is.
Yeah, he had 99 speed on Madden.
Hey, see, he's a Titan goat. Whereas he's fucking ECU goat. I mean, who can say that shit?
ECU goat. No one. No one.
Hey, Brandon.
Exactly.
Josh said DeBoer is like his ex-wife. ... That's it.
I don't know your ex-wife. I don't know your ex-wife. So I am hoping that he can turn something around. And when I say that, I'm not having these illusions of grandeur that he's going to have like some playoff renaissance or something like that after losing that way. I'm saying, can he just salvage the team and finish 9-3? Because that means he has some big wins. If he finishes 9-3, he has some big wins.
Let me ask you, how many pick sixes did Ty Simpson throw last week?
0.
So, hey, it's already an improvement.
Already a fucking improvement. Dude, anyone that says that Ty played decent at quarterback with what he had to fucking do. The dude was getting destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And I thought he played well enough. But he wasn't the problem. Yeah, that's what I said. I think so too, Josh.
I said that Saturday. Ty Simpson wasn't the problem. So all these people, who's the backup?
Keelan Russell, Austin Mack.
Everybody's saying Keelan Russell needs to be in there. Ty Simpson was not the problem. The kid did everything he could possibly do in that game. He just didn't have no time.
Just being out there the way that I'm playing now.
Yeah,
they will end his career before it ever gets started.
Yeah, all we're gonna do with Keelan, he's underweight. He's not ready.
He's not ready at all.
But yeah, I agree. Anyway, let's see. The kid deserves this.
Said this kid deserves this.
Yeah, well, ECU plays Bama next year, Blake. It's gonna be a toss up. I will flip a coin to see who wins. It'll be a push. Anyway, Ty, Josh, I agree with you. Ty deserves to play just because he waited his turn. He is the one exception to the fucking rule right now. Everyone out there is like, if you don't play me, I'm leaving. Ty stuck around and did it the right way. So even if I wish him nothing but the best, I don't know what the best is. Yeah. So
hey, Gunnar Stockton, loyal.
Exactly. Respect. That's what you got to do.
This year, but he hung out.
God,
he's Arch waited 1 year. He didn't have to wait long.
No, I mean he
redshirted the first year. He wasn't going to play.
Yeah, but I mean this is third year. That's for someone that's supposed to be a generational talent. That's
well, we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
so.
well, you're right.
That's
Anyway. All right, so we're going to get Riddle. Give us the answer to the Riddle's riddle.
So we did have two correct answers tonight.
Hey.
I was happy to see that. Dees and Big Hunt came through with the correct answers there. The correct answer to the trivia question, which was in the BCS era, what team spent the most weeks as the number 1 ranked team? It was Oklahoma. Oklahoma spent 20 weeks as the number 1 team. Alabama was second at 16. USC and Ohio State was tied at third with 15. And then LSU, Florida State, Florida, Miami, Tennessee, Nebraska, Oregon, Auburn, Texas, Notre Dame, Kansas State, Missouri, and UCLA all held at least 1 week at number 1.
UCLA, the Fighting Nikos. Let's go. So, Tony, before we get into Pardo's Pour, do I need to pull up the rankings again? Or are you pretty much... You got it on lock.
Rankings are stupid. So.
Okay.
I don't believe it's so much the rankings as is the whole process of rankings.
So we're getting into the segment that we call Pardo's Pour. And Blake said pull up the rankings. So I'm going to pull them up real briefly, Blake, for you to review while we kind of review. So Pardo's Pour is a section where Tony goes off on his little rant on one of the things that pissed him off this week in college football. There is a list. He's keeping it. Kind of like in Billy Madison, the guy's crossing off his list, that's Tony. And, but Tony, before you get started, I need to know who is sponsoring this week's Pardo's Pour.
This week's Parlo's Pour is sponsored by Russell's Reserve Private Barrel Select Single Barrel.
Hey, that's
really
a good barrel.
Bottle. I love this. Usually about 80, yeah, it is $83 bottle.
Good stuff.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get my sip in.
Yeah. Let me get mine in. That's let me pull the rankings down, Tony, before you get going. All right.
Still on aftershave.
Tony ran away.
All right. So obviously everyone's seen these, we've had the preseason rankings, that garbage going on for the last couple months. And then obviously the new weekly ranking concerning the AP poll and coaches poll. I'm just here to say, and I've had a few days kind of, get over this bullshit, but the college football rankings are pretty much just fucking, they're meaningless. They're fucking meaningless. They mean nothing. Every year you have fans that say, oh my God, this team is underranked by a few spots. And other fans will say, well, this team's overranked, undervalued, yada, yada, all this shit. Honestly, who fucking cares? I mean, who really cares? I'm tired of seeing the fucking rankings, honestly. And I was really upset when I seen a certain team, Florida State, literally move up 22 fucking spots or whatever it was. That's insane. I'd give them more credit if it was a Nick Saban coach Bama team, but I can't give them any credit. They maybe give them a number 25, okay? But again, the AP poll and the coaches poll impact absolutely nothing when all is said and done. At this point, the rankings are only used to drive up viewership and revenue because they want you watching these games. They want you watching Florida State, even though they're probably still dog shit, honestly, if I'm going to be honest. Because I'm still not a believer in them. I don't care. Like I said, you can catch teams beginning of the season. It happens all the time. These nerds that come up with these rankings.
Awful.
And I said fucking nerds. And if you like these rankings, well, hell, you're best friends with them. But these nerds that come up with these rankings, they don't watch any of these fucking games. I mean, there's no way. There's no shot these fucking nerds watch these games. What person with an actual brain truly believes that Florida State is worthy of a rank of 14 after how many losses last year? How many they had?
10.
10?
That was 10. That's Mike Norvell with 10 L's.
Norvell with 10 L's. I think Jordan was counting the L's up every week last year. But, they were absolutely ass. But because they beat Bama, these nerds that come up with these rankings jizzed on themselves.
Thank you, Josh.
And, got all their pants and made an emotional decision. But I understand. They're trying to get viewership up. That's what they're doing. Because I honestly don't even know if Bama's really that bad. Yeah, they look bad week 1. And you can say they should fall out. I was saying they should fucking fall out. But no.
Take them out.
The only reason why I was saying that because Tennessee over the last couple of years has gotten some shitty, Tennessee's been undervalued, in my opinion, a lot of times. They've been screwed over in rankings when it actually meant something towards playoff time.
You made the playoff. You made the playoff last year.
I ain't talking about last year. I said over the last few years. Over the last few years, they have been fucked over. And don't give me that bullshit when they beat Bama at home and somehow Bama still gets a nod over them in playoff spot. Same record, everything. Yeah.
Tony. I'm pretty sure we both got left out of the playoffs that year, buddy.
Yeah. No. You were number 4 team.
No, y'all got in. It was Georgia that got left out.
That's bullshit.
You're talking about the where we played Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's different. Yeah. That's different. Okay, I was talking about the year that Tennessee and Bama finished 5 and 6. Hendon Hooker's year.
Like I said, Florida State, good for them. They're going to get beat down by somebody eventually. I guarantee it. But like I said, if it was a Nick Saban coach Bama team, then I give him more props. I just can't give a team. I can't give a team props by letting them jump up 22 or whatever fucking spots it was. That's insane. I've never seen that. And just like I said in our little chat, so I guess if somehow Tennessee pulls off this win against Georgia in a couple weeks, I'm not saying it's happening, so don't be putting fucking words in my mouth, then I guess Tennessee is going to be ranked number 1. I mean, this is how this shit's working.
The way the polls go, Tennessee probably only go up to about 18.
Oh, yeah.
They may go down. They may go down a point.
But with all that being said, the rankings are fucking stupid. They're nothing. And thanks for listening to my Pardo's Pour.
D sent you some tiny dinies. So I just want to say something that stuck out to me in this whole rant that you had, and you said, who in their right mind would do X? And the only thing I could think of after you fucking said that was, who in their right mind would think CJ2K is better than fucking Derrick Henry? Who in their right fucking mind? I mean,
Someone with a brain. Someone with a brain, man.
It's a shame Perkins ain't still in here because this would be golden.
He was probably so
anyway, he got told to go to bed. He said nothing good happens after damn 9 o'clock for Perkins. Okay, well, Tony, that was a good one. I do agree the rankings this week were kind of crap, but when your sample size is 1, I think we've all said this on this show. It doesn't matter. I don't know why we even have rankings. And the only reason we do is for content. I'm telling you, it's content. Yeah. It's content and to boost the games.
It's content. And then, like I said, you have these nerds that do the AP poll and coaches poll. They do the shit just so people will watch these fucking games. Because now, guess what? Viewership for Florida State's going to go up now. Oh, my God, you got to watch them. They're ranked. They're number 14 somehow. Doesn't make any fucking sense, but hey.
Like I told y'all before the season started, that preseason poll is 134 way tie for first.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody's lost.
That's true.
Now, we know a lot of them are going to lose a lot early, but.
Yeah.
And just so everyone on here knows, now that we're content creators, I love the polls. I don't care about where people are ranked and all that shit. It's just conversation. It's just conversation. Right. It's not going to matter. It's not going to. Tennessee made the playoffs last year. They did. They did what they were supposed to do. They won on the field and they made the playoff. And I'm just saying, now that it's expanded, I don't think the polls matter as much as like Jordan's alluded to many times.
And we talked about this before, like in our chat before we went live. It's the preseason polls, the hype it's basically what teams are going to draw the biggest viewership, what teams are going to create the best matchups throughout the year. Mm-hmm. But when those playoff rankings come out, the AP does influence those, whether we like to admit it or not. But usually by the end of the year, especially now that the playoff has expanded, it usually works itself out, because last year we knew that some of those teams didn't deserve to be there, but the ones that should have been there got in. And there was no Florida State being left out at number 6 or number 5 when they were undefeated. And there's not going to be that anymore. Now you're going to get those games, especially now that it's straight seeding, you're going to get those games where somebody's probably going to get beat by 40. And we're going to be like, yeah, we probably knew they didn't deserve to be there, but at least we got the ones that are supposed to be there in. So,
yeah. And now we're trying to go to 84. So, everybody gets a prize.
March Madness and we'll have January Madness followed by March Madness.
Now,
if they ever do that, though, there'd be no point in watching games, honestly, until.
But can you imagine that, Tony? Imagine if they go to 24 or 36, whatever they're damn fucking suggesting up there in the Big Ten. This Florida State loss for Bama would be nothing. It'd be nothing. Oh, yeah. It'd be like the Eagles getting beat by the Cowboys. Nobody would give a shit or give it a second thought and change their Super Bowl pick. I mean, it just wouldn't happen because it just wouldn't matter. That's the whole reason I'm against expanded playoffs to begin with. We need to stay where we're at with the 12 teams. And because we already got shitty matchups last year. We got shitty matchups.
Rumpton
16 is coming. We'll go
I know
16.
it's coming, but it's still going to be.
Came in.
I'm okay at 16. You get rid of the buys. Nobody has that advantage,
Yeah, go ahead, Riddle. I see his comment. Go ahead.
There's no more.
Yeah, Rumpton came in, and I like touching on this one just because the team you mentioned. No. He said, "What's your thoughts on Illinois? They are ranked 11th this week."
Tony's a big Illinois fan. Covered them all year. He's like a beat writer.
I don't care what they're ranked.
Rumpton, Illinois has 2 jobs: beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yep, that's it.
And beat Indiana. Indiana is their only shot at a top 25 win.
Yep.
I mean, let's face it, they've got Indiana scheduled for last year, so they can find themselves in the playoffs. I like Luke Altmaier. I like what Coach Fleming has built up there.
They're physical.
But I think a lot of their success is going to hinge on that trip to Bloomington.
Thank you for
if they can take care of business, because I mean, Ohio State is going to hammer them. I just don't see them giving them much.
That's a rough one.
I won't say hammer, but I mean, 20 to 25 would not be a stretch at all. But I do. I mean, I had Illinois is one of the dark horses to crash the playoff party this year, to be one of those teams sitting in there. But they've got to beat Indiana. I don't know if the schedule's so soft. The committee said they're going to put more weight on schedule this year. We'll see if they do or not. But if they do, if they have a loss to Indiana and a loss to Ohio State, I don't know as soft as the rest of that is, they get in.
Yeah, so, I'm a piggyback off of Jordan real quick, and just looking at their schedule, they have to go to Bloomington. They do get Ohio State at home, but I'm going to back Jordan there. I don't think that's going to matter that much in that ball game. It might be closer than we think, just because Ohio State's offense is still finding itself. It's still learning its identity. The only other game on their schedule that could present an issue is another home game, and that's against USC. That one will be an interesting one to watch. But I'd hate to say we have to penalize the team for playing their conference, but they did get the Indiana schedule this year in their conference. They don't play any.
Hey, thanks, Josh. We'll catch you tomorrow night, buddy.
Hardly of the top teams in the Big Ten this year.
So Connor said conference championships will probably go by the wayside when 16-team playoff come. The reason why I say they won't, revenue, yeah. Big money.
Those games are worth too much.
Big money in the SEC, Big Ten. They pocket every bit of that. They pocket it all. So too much revenue, and the whole deal with the SEC going to 9 games versus 8. The reason why they're doing that, that's pretty. D's pretty much as accurate as always. But
it's something stupid. We laughed.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. The whole reason the SEC went to 9 games was to petition for more TV revenue when that contract comes available, and they're not going to get rid of an extra SEC game, which would be a championship game. They're not going to get rid of that. They want that. They want that chip.
I think what you could see happen is if it expands out much past 16. I think you could see some of these cupcake games go away. And they'll play the same 9-game conference schedule, maybe one, group of 5 or Power 4 non-conference to open the year up, and then straight conference play, and then you have your championship probably Thanksgiving weekend, maybe even the week before Thanksgiving, depending on and that's a lot of speculation. That's if it expands any more than 16.
The good thing would
as long as
be
the money rolls, it will.
The good thing would be if they actually did it like basketball and used like an FPI or an RPI and actually like gave us games like Texas, Ohio State and said, hey, Texas, we're not going to penalize you for this. We appreciate you playing this game. Great way to start the season. And, if Texas kind of does their thing and maybe loses a close one here and they finish 10-2, they're still able to get ranked in the playoffs very easily because of their strength of schedule. They say we're going to that. We'll see. It did not happen last year. It did not happen last year, and that's fine. That's fine.
Losing to Ohio State week 1 on the road by 7 is a lot different than losing to, say, UTSA on homecoming by 3. I mean, two totally different. You said with the college basketball, that's one of my favorite things about college basketball. You have good losses and bad losses. I mean, there's no such thing as a good loss, but you have bad losses and you have losses that don't hurt you.
Yeah, you
went on the road. We asked you to take this schedule on. You took it on. We're not going to hurt you for that.
You look at Bama and Tennessee in basketball, their schedules the past couple of years have been atrociously hard, and they lose some, they win some, and they end up getting ranked very high because of those games they played. And it's still the NCAA, but I know the playoff committee exists outside of the NCAA, and it's like if they modeled something like that after a successful model that's already existing in sports right now, I know it's not as big, but the March Madness is probably one of the most elaborate selection shows there is when it comes to sports and playoff selections. But, it is what it is.
Hey, Brandon, this just came through on the top headlines. I guess it was earlier today. The defensive lineman Beeman.
Jeremiah Beeman. He is a redshirt freshman. He is out for the season.
Yep, got hurt in practice today.
I saw it.
That's a lick.
Yeah, it's when you act like a pussy, smell like a pussy, and look like a pussy, you might be a pussy. And I'm not, no disrespect to Beeman, I don't want him to get hurt. He's actually one of the few players that actually played halfway decent and was actually he was out of position too. I don't want to sit there and fucking say he did great, but like in practice, he actually tries and things like that. So I don't want to sit there and say that, but I mean, like when I say that, I'm not alluding to the player itself. I'm talking about the program. For some reason, people are just getting hurt left and right. And like I said, when you're a pussy, you're a pussy. And, I'm well aware these players are strong and well aware of these players, but it's about up here. And college football is going to be more about this right here. Now the NIL and all this stuff is here because everyone's going to have a good team. Everyone's going to be at least able to challenge you. It's going to be more like the NFL than it ever has been. So, cerebral, the testicular fortitude is going to matter. And some teams got it and some teams don't. And anyway, I do not wish anyone to get hurt, though. I don't wish anyone on my rivals to get hurt. I don't wish anybody to get hurt, especially not kids trying to make a living. So I don't want anyone to think that. So with that said, that's going to do it for us tonight on Locked, Loaded, and Goated. I think that was a great show. And for those of you that are still here, if you can, please like, follow, and subscribe. We are live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick every Wednesday and Saturday night at 8:30. And we have the podcast that we post usually by the next day, and we do that on Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We appreciate the support. Please go like and follow over there as well. If we don't have anything else, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us on Locked, Loaded, and Goated, and we'll see you next week, Saturday.